If your Google Ads ad groups aren't structured correctly, the chances are you don't have a very high conversion rate from the clicks that you get. And in today's video, we're going to show you how to structure your ad groups by intent so that you get higher click-through rates, lower cost per clicks, and more leads overall. And just to show you, how Google Ads themselves define ad groups is that they basically say that you use ad groups to organize your ads by a common theme, such as the types of products or services that you want to advertise. And they use an example like this. If you were advertising different types of food, for example, you might have an ad group for desserts, an ad group for beverages, and an ad group for snacks. Now, I'd argue that you'd want to go a step further than this and have more relevant ad groups again, because if somebody searches for cupcakes, for example, and they just see an ad group for desserts, I think they'd be more likely to click on an ad that's specific to cupcakes rather than desserts in general. But that's just basically, a basic overview of how Google Ads would define ad groups. And just to show you the two most, common ad group structures that have been used inside Google Ads is firstly SKAGs, which are single keyword ad groups, where you have a separate ad group for every single keyword inside your campaign. So that way the ads that you write are, pretty much exactly matching up with the keyword of that ad group. And you're also able to make a landing page that matches up exactly with that keyword as well. And obviously, in terms of relevancy, you're never going to have any issues because the ads and landing pages are always going to be highly relevant to that keyword. But obviously, when that was a popular strategy, that would have came along with a lot more work because you'd have to make, a ton of separate ad groups. Whereas in more recent years, because Google's AI has gotten so much more advanced, Google's AI now actually understands that the intent behind multiple keywords can be the exact same. So now what we have is single theme ad groups or single intent ad groups. This has been the best way to structure your ad groups inside Google Ads for the last couple of years and would still be the best way to do so, where you have separate ad groups based on the intent of the keywords. So it doesn't matter how many keywords you have inside an ad group, as long as the intent of those keywords are the same. You can have them together in the same ad groups. And a big part of the reason as well why single keyword ad groups no longer work is because of how Google Ads keyword match types have changed in most recent years. So there's always been broad, phrase, and exact match, but all of these three match types have gotten a lot more broader within themselves. So you could almost say that exact match now is what phrase match used to be. And if you have an exact match keyword, there's actually a lot of different variations of the same meaning that your ads can appear for. So that's why, Google Ads AI just has a better understanding of user intent. And the best way moving forward is that you just want to make sure in each of your ad groups that each of your keywords mean the same thing, but they can be, written differently. But as long as they mean the same thing, and the ad copy that you have for those keywords within the same ad group are all equally relevant, then that's how you separate your keywords into ad groups based on intent. Now we're going to show you a few completely different examples of how you can structure your ad groups based on intent, depending on, the service that you offer and the intent of the keywords for that service as well. Now, what I'd almost always recommend you do is that, if you run multiple services, that you only make ad groups for your most profitable services. But if you're a company that offers, lots of services and you want to run ads for all of those services, is that you can separate your ad groups at the service level first of all. Now, if you're running a campaign that offers, roofing and guttering services, for example, then the most simple way of organizing your ad groups is having service specific keywords in each ad group. And so in a gutter installation ad group, for example, which is a very specific service, you just want to make sure that all of the keywords in that specific ad group are all highly related to gutter installation. So gutter installation company, gutter installation near me, guttering fitters near me, and gutter fitters near me. So, fitters and installation has the exact same intent. So that's what we're saying as well about intent, that the exact keyword word for word doesn't have to be the exact same thing, but as long as the actual meaning of it is the same, then they're able to be together in the same ad group. Because Google's AI is smart enough to understand that if somebody types guttering fitter and guttering installer, that they mean the exact same thing inside the customer's mind, and that the ad copy would be equally relevant for both of those searches. So that's the first way of splitting up your ad groups. If you have lots of different services like this, then you can split up your keywords at the service level. What you can also do then as well, if you offer a specific service, for example, and you don't have loads of different services that you want to split up your ad groups into, we found as well that if you target a wide area and there's multiple, suburbs with high populations within that county, for example, what we've also found works really well is having location specific ad groups. For example, a roofing campaign in Manchester, like this campaign, we found that there are multiple locations within this area that are getting searches that mention the area itself. So, for example, if somebody's searching for roofer in Stockport, which is, just a specific area in the area that we're targeting, that they're more than likely going to click and convert on an ad that mentions their specific area than an ad that just mentions the wider area in general. So if you're targeting, a really wide area, like a big city like London, for example, there's so many other areas within that city itself that all have high populations. And if you make separate ad groups for each of those locations, then they're going to be deemed as more relevant and more likely to convert as well. So you can have, keywords that are location specific, and anything that mentions, roofer, roof repair in area, then that can be given its own separate ad group as well. And another ad group structure that we found works really well, and this visual just shows a great example here, is that if you offer a really specific service, let's just say you're plumbing, for example, you might be wondering, how do I even split up my keywords into separate ad groups? Because it's just the one service that I offer and everybody's just looking for a plumber. Well, there's still different ways you can split up your keywords into separate ad groups. And what you can do when you're inside the keyword planner, for example, and you make a long list of keywords, is that you might notice that, a lot of people are typing in plumber near me or local, or, some people might be looking for an affordable plumber. Others might be looking for, a fully certified and insured plumber. And another one might be looking for an emergency plumber. Someone else might be looking for the best plumber, and so on. What you want to do is split up, your plumbing related keywords further by the intent of, what it is about a plumber that they're actually looking for. And so this example here shows how you can split up all your plumbing related keywords into 4 ad groups. One based on local that has things like near me, another that's, looking for an affordable plumber that says affordable, even though this mightn't be the best ad group because you usually don't want to target keywords that say cheap, for example. Another looking for certified plumbers. So, if you have all your certified related keywords together or your best plumbers related keywords together, you're able to write, more relevant ad copy like this that says, expert plumber near you as opposed to just plumber near you. And it's just going to stand out more because it's going to match exactly what they're searching for. And same with emergency as well. If you have a keyword like emergency plumbing service, they're way more likely going to click on your ad and convert on an ad that says emergency plumber rather than just plumber in general because they feel like they're in the right place when they see your ad. And now, what you want to do as well when you're making your ad group inside Google Ads and you're making your first ad is you want to make sure that, first of all, you have all of your keywords split up into separate columns for the ad groups that you're going to be targeting. So you know what each of your ad groups are going to look like. So let's just say, for example, this is a driveway installation related ad group. So what you want to do to write relevant ads for a driveway installation is make sure, first of all, that your headlines and descriptions mention driveway installation because this is going to be your driveway installation themed ad group. And a good way of starting this off as well is using dynamic keyword insertion, which is a feature where if somebody searches for any of these keywords that you're targeting and you use dynamic keyword insertion by typing in your squiggly bracket, pressing keyword insertion, and typing in, driveway installation, which is, the core theme of this ad group, leaving it in title case and press apply, is that the headline that they see, if they type in driveway installation near me and then the headline they see says driveway installation near me, they're instantly going to feel like they're in the right place when they see your ad. And you can do this with your other headlines as well, not necessarily using dynamic keyword insertion, but still having keyword focus. So mentioning driveway installation, but having a benefit of why they should choose you, for example, 20% off. And you could have another headline then saying driveway installation expert, for example. And then just, you want to also have descriptions that are highly relevant to the keywords of that ad group like this. And then once you have your ads written for your first ad group that are all highly relevant to the keywords of that ad group, all you'd have to do then is copy and paste the ad group, and all you'd need to do for your headlines and descriptions is swap driveway installation, which is the keyword focus of this ad group, for the separate service, which is going to be the keyword focus of that ad group. So let's say you have another ad group for patio installation. You can just change this to patio installation And that way then you're not going to have to make brand new ads for scratch each time. So that's also a point that's really worth mentioning, and I'll leave a link to a separate video for how to do that, where all you have to do is make your initial 3 ads of your first ad group, and you can just save a ton of time by copying and pasting out that ad group and just changing around the keywords and the keyword focus part of the ad copy in each case. So that way then, all the benefits and call to actions and so on in your ad copy is going to be the same in each case. And then all you have to do is copy and paste in the keyword focus part of that ad, and it's just going to save you a ton of time. And the main thing, as mentioned as well, that you really just want to look out for when making your ad groups inside Google Ads is that you just double check that all of the keywords in each ad group are highly relevant to one another, and that if somebody types in any of these keywords into Google, is the ad that we have for this ad group going to be highly relevant to this keyword? And as you can see here, we have a bunch of gutter cleaning related keywords that all mean the exact same thing. There is no real rule of thumb for, how many keywords you can have in each ad group. The truth is that as long as the keywords mean the same thing and have the same intent, then they can all be together inside the ad group. And one last tip as well, if you are a beginner running Google Ads, is that I would recommend using exact match keywords at the beginning, because if you were to start out with, phrase match like we're currently using for this campaign, then you're going to get a lot of irrelevant search terms appearing inside your search terms report. And what you don't want to happen is to be getting a lot of your clicks coming from irrelevant search terms that are not actually related to the service that you're offering, for example. So you don't want to be getting a lot of clicks from competitor names or low intent related keywords. Whereas if you use exact match keywords that are highly relevant to the service that you offer, then you know at least that the majority of your traffic is going to be high buying intent and actually likely to be looking for what you offer when they see your ad. Now, I hope this video helped and just gave you some clarity on how to structure your ad groups inside Google Ads. And if you do have any questions at all about ad groups or anything else related to Google Ads at all, feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you are running a service-based business and would like further help improving your own campaign results, feel free to have a look at the link in the description down below. And if you do like this Google Ads related content as well, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as we'll be posting all things related to Google Ads here daily, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video.